Hi there. World is happening. Yes, it has been a blast so far. I can't wait for the rest of the tournament to see how the meta shakes out on 11.19. But alas, patch 11.20 is here, and even though Worlds is too, Riot in its rigorous patch schedule waits for no man, monster, or mummy. Heck, preseason 2022 will be here before we know it, but for now we have buffs to Darius and Hecarim, and nerfs to Amumu and Irelia, and much, much more. Now, don't panic. Remember, pro play will not ever be on this patch. This will only affect solo queue. I don't know if that made you feel better, actually, but it was supposed to. Roll the tape. This is the 11.20 patch breakdown. Let's start with Amumu. For one glorious World Championship, Amumu ruled the globe in not one but two roles, but no longer, because Riot is apparently so invested in its lore that now it has to keep Amumu sad by gutting his numbers after giving him 2 Qs made him too strong. So please, take whatever you are holding in your hand right now and gently and respectfully let its contents pour out onto the ground. Pour one out for the sad mummy, or else I'm gonna come to your house and I'm gonna put mayonnaise in your shampoo bottle and then lick all the spoons in your house. Okay, now I'm done being a salty Amumu main. Like we all know, Amumu has 2 Qs now. So each individual one is being toned down a bit in an attempt to target his potency as a support. The damage on Bandage Toss is going down late from 70 to 190 to 70 to 170, and the brutal change is that the mana cost is going from 30 to 50 at all ranks to a flat 70 at every rank. Now I actually have to think before I use my second Q. Okay, next up, let's see. Oh, Darius buffs. Good, I wasn't sad enough. It's actually a relatively small one for the Hand of Noxus this time around. The cooldown on his W, Crippling Strike, is going down from 7 to 5 seconds to a flat 5 at all ranks. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Now for Elise, who's getting some buffs at 11.20. Her health is getting a nice little bump, going from 534 to 555 at level 1, and her armor growth per level is going from 3.35 per level to a flat 4 per level. The Spider Queen has always been a prolific ganker and early game powerhouse AP jungler, but has also been notoriously hampered by her scaling. While this won't fix it, and because you definitely needed my opinion here, nor should it, it should help her be just that little bit less squishy as the game progresses so that she's not getting one-tapped by default. Now, let's talk Hecarim. The buff to his W, Spirit of Dread, is two-pronged. First, its cooldown is going from 22 to 18 seconds to a flat 18 at all ranks, and the healing on his W, everyone's favorite part, is staying capped versus minions and monsters, but that capped amount is going up by 30 at all ranks, going from 90 to 210 to 120 to 240 at rank 5. Irelia nerfs, huzzah! This one is to target her late game, which is getting a little too much free help from the bonus AD ratio that her maxed out passive gives her. In this small nerf, Ionian Fervor will now only scale off 20% of your bonus AD as opposed to 30% with all other parts of the passive staying the same. Jarvan IV has become a crazy 4-roll flex lately, and strangely enough, that's actually not what's bugging Riot. It is in fact his clear speed in the jungle, his primary role that it wanted to target with this nerf, also to his passive, Martial Cadence. The bonus damage on his auto attacks given by his passive now deal 8% of his target's current health, down from 10%. And again, this is any target, not just champions, which is why it's a good all-around nerf to his clear speed, but also to his dueling by extension. Shen is another champion that has been kind of all over the place in terms of his role in League of Legends. He's specifically been very, very strong in the top lane, apparently since patch 11.15, where he received a buff to his passive shield. That buff is now being reverted, and the base shield is back down to 50 to 101, scaling with your level from 60 to 111. Singed got those wild buffs last time around that gave him automatic grievous wounds on his ult and his Q. Well, that's staying. Instead, his E fling is getting bonked down late in terms of base damage, which is going from 50 to 110 to 50 to 90, as well as the AP ratio, which is going down to 60% from 75%. Talyah's jungling prowess is rising just a bit higher than her previous buffs intended her to get. As a result, the damage that her Q-threaded volley does to just monsters hit by subsequent stones from the ability is going down just a bit, going from 80% of the original damage to 75%. This should keep her presence in the mid lane unaltered. Udyr, like Hecarim, steamrolled the pro meta not too long ago, and Udyr, like Hecarim, is getting some small buffs in this patch as Riot and we as a society recover from that turbo chem tank meta. And since the buffs won't affect pro play once he wrought havoc, we can all breathe a little bit easier. The buffs to Udyr this time around are a reversion of his 11-12 nerf to Phoenix stance. The cone damage is keeping its 80% AP ratio, but the base damage is going from 50 to 275 to 60 to 310. Let's round this one out with some item and broader system changes, or rather, one of each. Remember Imperial Mandate? You might start to see it outside of ARAM Ashe builds now, as the initial bonus on-hit magic damage the item allows you to get on those slowing or immobilizing abilities is going up from 36 to 60 based on your level to 45 to 75 instead. In the jungle, Smite is getting nerfed just a bit, but it's just the healing component, the part of it that's based on your max health specifically. It'll now only heal you for 10% of that amount rather than 15%. Now to compensate, the two camps that we all use Smite on most often, Gromp and Krugs, the Ancient Krugs specifically, are having both of their base ADs reduced from 78 to 74. For everything else dropping in 1120, including skins and more, check out our website, hit us up on Twitter at @esports, and of course, like and subscribe to stay up to date with all of our video content through Worlds and beyond. And as always, thanks for watching.